And the neighborhood was everybody we really knew because they all went to the same church over at St. John, Kansas. And then down between our house and the 3rd Street corner was C&A Grocery. And they had a little grocery store, and it was Seal and Aid Fisnick. You'd go in there, and all the neighbors would come in there and chin once in a while. Seal would have us all in for coffee and rolls. And anyway, it was kind of a gathering place for all the neighbors around.
We were the young kids on the block at the time, and we had one thing going for us. Most of the people in this area belonged to the Catholic Church, St. John, Kansas. So that, I think, is how we got to know our neighbors, was through church. So over the years, new homeowners came in or renters came in. And so it has changed quite a bit.
Honestly, I don't remember even having an impression about the neighborhood. I kind of was worried about the neighborhood because of all the stuff I'd heard. And I did like the tree-lined streets. But again, it was all about my house. I was locking my neighborhood out of my house. I put alarms on my doors, and it was not, I wouldn't even let my children leave my block. My 13-year-old child wasn't allowed to take his bike out around the block. I was worried about it.
In order to have a healthy city, you need to have healthy neighborhoods. The ward that I have, Ward 1, has 4 core neighborhoods in it. The McKinley Park, the Lake George, Edelbrook and St. John's, Kansas, and the Southside University. You know, those are older neighborhoods that have changed over time.
That's what we're missing. We shut ourselves in our homes and we don't know our neighbors. I look around me, and if there's a neighbor I don't know, I make it a goal of mine to meet that person. The man that lives across the street from me, on the opposite corner from me, I didn't even know his name. I saw him outside mowing his grass, and I just said, I'm going to do it. And I walked across the street, gave him my hand, and said, my name's Robbie, I'm your neighbor. And he informed me he'd been here for 11 years, and I didn't even know him. So now I know him, and every time I see him, I say hi. How I know this is working is I get phone calls and emails. I just got one from a new neighbor that I met recently that said, I'm out of town for the next few weeks. My daughter's home. Can she call you if she needs anything? That is wonderful to me. And it's somebody I didn't know a year ago. You learn to trust each other and get to know each other.
Thinking of stronger neighborhoods, you know, I think of the families that live within those neighborhoods. And the idea that, you know, getting people out in the neighborhood and talking to one another, having dialogue, having discussion, getting to know your neighbor, connecting with one another, is really key to creating a safe environment.
Before we knew our neighbors, we didn't realize some of the struggles that are in the neighborhood. We have 3 blocks that have neighborhood watch, and we did a walk with the St. Cloud Police Department. And he informed us that all the different things that we could do to help secure our homes. One of them was put longer screws and hinges. We went around, anyone that wanted it, we did that for them.
Some people don't have deadbolts on their houses still. They're old style doors, and they just have, you know, very small latches on them. So the idea is to put longer screws in, and you know, the more purchase you have on the wood inside the wall, it's way less likely for that to come flying out of there. So, you know, putting in lampposts for myself and putting in light fixtures, it's a simple enough thing for me to do. You know, just if your next door neighbor knew how to do something, hey, can you give me a hand with this? And then if everybody just helped out and said yes, you know, many hands make light work. It's been an experience that I never thought would take off.
It means to me so much because it brings out the neighborhood together and we get to know each other, and it's so heartwarming to know that there's people around the area that cares about each other and wants to see each other succeed in their life. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful gift to me to see that happening.
It's been a long time since I have seen a Habitat homeowner so welcomed. And that relationship alone is golden. because we're talking about somebody that has very little experience in this, and is very nervous about crossing a new horizon in living and in a different place. He is absolutely excited to be there. And I think what's wonderful about it is that neighbors then start to learn what they can do for each other. Nothing transforms your understanding of a situation or your respect and understanding for a person than working alongside them. I know that my neighbors and I have more ability and strength to affect some of the things that we want to affect. And so that maybe I and my neighbors will have more courage to start challenging some of the things that aren't going on in our neighborhood that has to, and start saying, you know something, this isn't something we're stuck with. There's something we can do about that.
When I think of neighborhood revitalization, I think of developing a strong connection between the neighbors in those neighborhoods. As I've seen through the core neighborhoods, people coming together to make that a better place to live.
Project Revive is an opportunity for us to broaden the horizons of service that we can give in our community. It takes Habitat for Humanity one step beyond home construction, which has been a highly successful model for 40 years, and starts to work through some of the other housing issues that are out there, like preserving low-income housing, like helping homeowners who may be on fixed income or low income. It's a great opportunity for us to take the resources, the people, the materials, the expertise that we have, and work in partnership with other parts of the community to really bring the housing potential of the community to its fullest extent. And that way the community can itself grow and develop.
When I think of neighborhood revitalization, I think of Habitat for Humanity first, because they really are the change agents within the city that have done so much to help neighborhoods within the city of St. Cloud, especially the core neighborhoods.
It ain't easy. There's all kinds of complications, there's all kinds of questions, there's lots of different subtleties that we're going to have to consider, and they're real. We get to figure this out together in a way that is respectful and dynamic and forward-thinking, and for want of a better phrase, proactive. Let's get out there and find out what the opportunities are. I truly believe that as we succeed in this, there is going to be a stock of housing that families, young families, first-time homeowners are A, going to be able to afford, and B, going to want to be in. How exciting for the community. That's what Project Revive means. That what revitalize means, that folks really want to be here and excited to be here. And I mean, that's going to be a plus, not just in that neighborhood, but for the employers in the community that are looking, folks that are excited to live here, for the businesses that are excited to be located there. That's how it just sort of bubbles up, and it's all because we just said, yeah, let's get together and figure it out.